Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, as you guys can see up on the screen. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated once again. This is ticker symbol SOFI. And, yeah, I don't know, another rough day for Sofi. We're down 3.28% today. It seems like every time we start to get a couple of green days, every time we break that $10 mark, we think, hey, this is the end of the rough 2022. This is the end of the kind of bear market cycle or downward trajectory we've been in, not only for Sofi, but the entire stock market overall. And again, we break $10 for like a day or 2 days, or we have 3-4 green days in a row, and then we get a couple red days in a row. We had a rough red day yesterday, another rough red day today. I mean, 3.22% down. It's not the end of the world. It's not like the worst day ever, but it's a pretty substantial down day, especially for a single day. But then you combine it with everything else we've been through so far in 2022, and it's just really, really rough. Obviously, Sofi is almost down 40% year to date, and this is in 3 months. Today is the last day of the month. So yeah, kind of weird overall. Obviously, not super concerning since today is a red day for the markets overall. We have Dow Jones down 0.57, S&P down 0.5, Nasdaq down 0.64, Russell down 0.063. But I mean, none of those are down 3%. It just continues the trend of Sofi underperforming the market on red days and outperforming them on green days. So I mean, that's at least a good sign still that, hey, if we ever do get on a bull run again, that Sofi is hopefully a candidate to run better than the market. But in the meantime, we're just kind of getting beat down. But in this video today, we'll be going over all the latest, talking about what's going on with Sofi stock, making sure you guys can stay up to date in the know. So definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Thank you guys so much. We just passed 2,000 subscribers. Absolutely insane. And of course, as always, no financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy, sell, nothing like that. Just giving some of my thoughts and opinions on the news. With that being said, let's get right into this. First story I want to talk about was this from Yahoo Finance. Sofi at work study reveals 3 in 4 workers are stressed about financial issues. People are spending 9+ working hours per week dealing with personal finances. And obviously this seems like a big number, but hey, we know even before the pandemic, financial issues were very stressful. They're very impactful, especially on, like the average people. You got to think some people are in great, amazing positions. They're blessed. They're doing fine. But even as people start to make more money, they start to spend more money, and that still puts them, in positions where they're working paycheck to paycheck, where if they have some kind of medical emergency, or if they lose their job, or if they get laid off, or they get their hours cut, or their wages cut, or they don't get a raise, or they're trying to get a promotion, something like that, that it can cause a lot of stress. It can cause a lot of issues. And then, you throw families and partners and everything like that into the equation. It just kind of amplifies your opportunities for something bad happening. And obviously, this sucks to hear. People are this stressed. People are working this much on personal finances per week. But it also presents a good opportunity for Sofi. Again, they're trying to be your one-stop shop for all different financial services, for helping you navigate through these tough issues, through these stressful times, through this craziness, especially with everything that the pandemic has thrown into everyone's lives, making all those issues from 2019 and before 10 times crazier, 10 times harder, 10 times more difficult, especially when you throw in inflation and interest rates increasing and all these things on top of it. It has been an absolute mess of the last couple of years, and we're obviously not out of the woods completely yet. But again, Sofi is showing that there is need for their services. There is potential demand. There is an addressable market that is very, very large of people that they can help. So I thought this was very, very interesting to see. Again, 75% of workers are stressed out about financial issues, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was more than that. But again, people are spending 9+ working hours per week. That's 9+ hours per week that they're not doing something else to be making themselves money, or spending time with their family, or spending time with their friends, or relaxing, or working out, all these other things. And if Sofi can help you cut down on the stress, cut down on the hours, cut down on the time, people would probably pay a pretty penny for that. People would probably, really benefit from that and really appreciate Sofi and want to, hey, maybe check out the rest of their suite of products or the rest of their suite of financial services, all that kind of stuff. So definitely a very, very big potential opportunity for Sofi, not only in the short term, but also to grow in the medium term and long term and help out a ton of people along the way, which is also very, very cool. Because obviously we're talking about stocks, we're talking about businesses, we want to make money, we want share appreciation, but also having a meaningful impact in the lives of people and families and stuff is also really, really cool. And if you can do that on top of making a ton of money, that's always going to be a really, really cool thing. We also have this from investorplace.com. The fact that this is, not breaking news or anything like that, but the fact that director Harvey Schwartz is buying SoFi stock. Here's why. They talk a little bit about how shares of SoFi stock closed higher by over 9% today. This was a couple days ago, on the heels of a month of heavy insider buying. According to FinViz, SoFi insiders have made 10 transactions this month, 9 of them being buys. That is a very, very bullish sign to me, because again, we see so many companies where the kind of executives or the C-suite or whatever are selling off or are dumping. And that can be for a lot of reasons. Sometimes because they think their stock's overpriced, or they see rocky roads ahead, or they think it's time to cash out and they don't think they're going to see a nice share appreciation in the future. Maybe they just need money. There's a ton of different reasons. But, as old saying goes, when people are buying, it's for one reason. It's because they are expecting a nice return on their investment going into the future. So again, the fact that 9 of the 10 transactions in the month of March were buys, it's a very, very good sign for SoFi. It doesn't mean the stock has to go up in the near term, midterm, or long term, but it means that at least the people with a ton of knowledge and inside information about the company think it's going to do well, over the next couple of years, which I think is a very, very good sign. I'd rather have that than them selling. Noto accounts for 7 of the buys. Further, the most recent buy transaction was on March 17th. Director Harvey Schwartz purchased 58,000 shares of SoFi. He got in an average price of $883. Again, we're at $946 right now, so he's already seen a nice little return in just 14 days and even less trading days, obviously. But again, just kind of reiterating this point that yes, the insiders of SoFi are buying. They seem really, really excited about the company, especially at these prices going forward in the future. I think that's a great sign. But yeah. We also have this from Investor Place. Obviously, they have a ton of different writers, a ton of different opinions, all that stuff. But they say that Amazon, the Amazon of finance, obviously talking about SoFi, under $10 may be their number one pick in the stock market right now. Everything you hate about the way traditional banking works, SoFi has fixed by building a consumer-first social finance app. And what I really love here is what they talk about. If the company does indeed become the Amazon of finance, which is what they are, shooting for, that is their goal, SoFi stock has nearly 20x upside potential from the current levels. Again, we are trading at right around $10. This would put the company potentially at a $200 share price. Now, again, that's not factoring in stock-based compensation, share dilution, all that stuff. Hopefully, at some point, they get to, buying back shares, or maybe they pay out a dividend in the future. Who knows, anything like that, profitability numbers, all that. But again, 20x potential from these current levels. That's somewhere between $180 and $200. Thought that was a great sign and thought this was very, very interesting. Also, a post on the SoFi stock subreddit talking about how shorts don't matter as much as you think. Many people complaining about shorts manipulation. If you're complaining about that, you don't understand what shorts are and you don't understand your investment. Shorts are loaned shares being sold. They are loaned, which means they must be returned to the issuer of that loan. Therefore, in order to be returned, they must be bought. If short interest goes up, then two things are true. Somebody bought right now at the price that the short was sold, or the short seller is guaranteed to buy in the future. It's basic economics. From there, the excess supply created by shorts will eventually become excess demand when they need to buy themselves out. So this guy is saying that, yes, obviously in the short term, this can have an impact, but in the long term, it doesn't matter. So you shouldn't be so worried about shorts, especially if you are a medium to long-term investor, that this whole thing's going to play itself out, at least from this one guy's opinion and perspective. Because again, in the day-to-day, we're looking at the stock price a ton. We're looking at the short interest a ton. We're looking at, all those different things. And this guy's just kind of saying, hey, maybe it doesn't matter that much. Maybe relax a little bit. Maybe chill out. Yes, it can be annoying. Yes, it can be frustrating. But hey, everything, as long as the company does what they're supposed to do, if the company grows, if they hit on all their metrics, if they become profitable, if they do all these things, that shorts aren't going to matter in the long run. So that was kind of cool to hear. And then I wanted to end the video on this positive note. This guy saying, honestly, it's just a good product. He says he's had accounts with Stash, Aspiration, Addition Financial, Citi, Ameritrade, Tastyworks, Coinbase, and I've been using Mint as a hub to track everything for about a year. I moved from Stash and Aspiration funds to SoFi today. What I can tell you is that SoFi makes it possible for all of that clutter to go away. Again, he's talking about having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different apps, 8 different accounts, all that stuff, and being able to get it all in one platform, being able to get it all from SoFi, bundling that all together is a really, really exciting prospect for a lot of people. Banking, investing, crypto, and a personal finance tracker all in a single app with a better UI and more fluidity than any of the fintechs that I mentioned. It also offers the best modern modern banking features, 1% interest, vaults for saving goals, early direct deposits, instant transfers to invest, and crypto, no fees. It checks almost all the boxes. When they get options and extended hours, it will literally be everything I ever needed. And again, that is really, really cool to hear, because again, if the products are good, if people tell everyone how good the products are, if this thing can spread organically, if it can spread by word of mouth, that is a great sign for SoFi going forward in the future. That is a cheap and very, very efficient, effective way of getting to a large amount of growth, getting more funds under control, making more revenue, and again, of course, one day, hopefully, reaching profitability. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. If I drop a like if you did enjoy it, I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.